Hello grade 11 college students. Today we're going to continue with our circulation unit. We're going to talk about the anatomy of the heart and the blood flow. So I'm going to start off by each giving you a set of pencil crayons and a worksheet. Alright, so the agenda for today is we're going to go over the anatomy, the blood flow, and then we're going to finish off with a review, and you're going to need your cell phones for that. So, real quick, can you just place two of your fingers on your arm? What do you feel?
Pulse.
Your pulse. And what is your pulse?
So your blood circulating through your body.
And what creates your pulse?
Your heart pumping.
Half a chocolate. And then if we breathe in, what's happening there?
We took in oxygen.
Very nice. Very nice.
For our body.
Killed it. Have a chocolate.
Yeah.
Alright, so with that being said, oxygen and your blood flow created by your heart are a necessity for life. And we're going to go through the process of that. So, on your sheet there, you're going to follow along. We're going to go through the anatomy of the heart and then the blood flow. So we're going to start off with these two blood vessels here. And this one up here, can anyone guess what that is?
Superior vena cava.
Nailed it. And what does that do?
Doesn't matter what color we use.
For now, it doesn't right now, because the pencil crayons are for the blood flow after with oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So what does a superior vena cava do? Can anyone guess?
Blood goes through it so that it can reach the heart.
Yes. So it comes from the brain and the upper half of your body. That is north of the heart. The inferior vena cava, down here, is the other big blood vessel that feeds to the heart, and it comes from the rest of the body with deoxygenated blood. And so what we can see here is the heart, if we look at it from here, would be if I was facing you. So in this case, it's on the left side of the page, but this side of the heart is the what? Right side of the heart, because I'm looking at you. Right? So it's the opposite. It's the left side of the page, but it's the right side of the heart. And what we name this cavity is the right atrium. Just below it, if you can guess, is the right ventricle. And an easy way to remember what's on top and what's on the bottom is A is before B. So A is above, the atrium is above the ventricle.
That makes sense.
I try. And then on the opposite side, the left side of the heart, if you can guess, is the left atrium and the left ventricle. So we've got the four chambers of the heart, and that's what's unique about the mammal heart, is its four chambers. So,
are we mammals?
We are mammals.
Oh, okay.
And what we're going to cover now are the blood vessels that lead out of the heart and lead into the heart. So this huge guy that you can see here, we'll color it in later when we do the blood flow, is called the aorta. And it is the biggest artery in the human body for reasons we will discuss after. This little guy just below it is the pulmonary artery. And does anyone know what pulmonary stands for?
Doesn't it have to do with your lungs?
Nailed it, Mariah. Well done. Alright, so then this little guy just below the pulmonary artery is the pulmonary vein. And if you can, as you can guess, it also has to do with the lungs. Now one thing that a lot of people can get messed up with is arteries and veins. People associate arteries with oxygenated blood and veins with deoxygenated blood, but that is the case in the systemic body. So anything that's after the heart that has to do with the body, whereas the pulmonary system has to do with the lungs. And what we'll see later is when we discuss blood flow, is that the arteries, the pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood, and the pulmonary veins carry oxygenated, which is the complete opposite. And last but not least, we're going to discuss the valves of the heart. So between the right atrium and the right ventricle is something called the tricuspid valve. And a way I remember that is the RI of the tricuspid coincides with RI of the right side of the heart. Just a simple, easy way. Takes a bit of practice, but you get the hang of it. This one up here is, its namesake comes after the artery it goes into, pulmonary valve. So that's a little easier to remember. Last but not least, on the left side of the heart, and I don't have an easy way to remember it, is the mitral valve. And that is the valve between the left atrium and the left ventricle. And last but not least, the aortic valve, as you can tell, is between the aorta and the left ventricle. How are we doing with our fillings?
I finished.
So far, so good? Alright, so this is the fun part where we get to color. So you're going to take your red and your blue markers, or pencil crayons, and the blue stands for deoxygenated blood. Katie, can you tell me what deoxygenated means?
There's no oxygen in it.
Awesome. And Mariah, what's oxygenated blood?
That means there's oxygen attached to the blood cells.
Nailed it. Alright, so we're going to start with the vena cavas. The vena cavas take blood from the body, which has been used. So when blood has been used, what do you think it is? Oxygenated or deoxygenated?
D.
D. Nice. So we're going to color the vena cavas, just shade lightly a blue color. Because it is deoxygenated and has no oxygen in it. The vena cavas lead into what chamber of the heart?
The right atrium.
Very nice. And thus, what do you think that is? Oxygenated or deoxygenated?
D.
Well done. We're going to shade that too. Through what valve does the right atrium blood flow through?
Tricuspid.
Nice. Into the?
Right ventricle.
Very nice. And we are still deoxygenated. So we're going to color the right ventricle blue as well. Alright? From the right ventricle, where do we go?
Through the pulmonary valve.
Right, into the?
Pulmonary artery.
Very nice. So that's going to be shaded blue as well because we are still deoxygenated. And this artery, having to do with the pulmonary system, goes to the what?
Lungs.
Nice. And at the lungs, what happens? We performed it right at the start of the lesson.
No, we get an exchange of gases.
Nice, Mariah.
And so then we get oxygen into our blood cells.
Very nice. And like I said, the pulmonary vein, this is what messes people up, is oxygenated. Because when we think of the systemic system in the body, veins are deoxygenated. But in this case, we are oxygenated. So we're going to switch to the red crayon. And we're going to color the pulmonary vein red.
So veins bring blood always to the heart, and then arteries always carry blood away from the heart.
Awesome. And that's the way I'd like you to remember it instead of the other way around.
Okay.
So, from the pulmonary vein, we get into the left atrium, which is still oxygenated. And what valve do we go through to get from the left atrium to the left ventricle?
Aortic valve. No. Wait,
No.
what? Oh, mitral valve.
Mitral valve, exactly. So we go through the mitral valve into the left ventricle. And then we go into the biggest blood vessel of the body, which is the
Aorta.
Very nice. So we're going to color that all red.
Alright, let it color it.
And why do we think the aorta is the biggest vessel of the body? Like, it's thickest, largest, because it, what?
It's blood to the rest of the body.
Exactly. And our body's pretty big, right? So in order for that blood to reach everywhere, it has to be pretty
Strong.
nice. Very nice. So, we've covered the anatomy of the heart. We've covered the blood flow and the deoxygenated, oxygenated blood. So now we're going to move on to a little bit of a review. So if you could pull out your phones. And we're going to do a quick quiz. And you just have to go to kahoot.it. And I'll write that on the board. bowling pin. 2, 3, 4, 8, 6, 7. Let me know when you're ready.
Nickname. That's not what I put.
Who's Taurus?
I put Jazzy and then autocorrect fix it. It's Taurus.
So we've got one player in.
It's trying to connect.
Uh-oh.
We can share, it's fine. We can work as partners.
Awesome. Okay, so what's going to happen is questions are going to pop up on the screen and you're going to respond on your cell phones.
Alright. I'm ready.
This vessel pumps oxygenated blood to the rest of the body.
Aorta.
Well done.
We're winning.
Taurus is in the lead. This valve separates the right atrium from the right ventricle.
Oh, it's the...
Remember the little trick?
Right
The
atrium.
RI of the
Oh,
right.
let's try tricuspid.
Nice.
I misread the question.
Well done. Taurus is still in the lead. Veins carry deoxygenated blood,
False.
whereas very nice. Whereas arteries carry oxygenated blood. True or false? Question 4. The left ventricle receives blood from the what, which in turn receives blood from the what? So this receives blood from the, which receives, very nice.
Still in first place.
Yeah, I can't win here.
Question 5. Number 13 on the diagram refers to what structure? You'll see it. Come on.
Oh, inferior vena cava. No, right.
Question 6. Number 2 on the diagram refers to this structure.
Oh, it's the pulmonary, no, it's pulmonary artery. Green, yellow.
Nailed it. Question 7. Blood from the right atrium flows in which order? This might be a little hard. So, from the right atrium, follow the numbers, excluding the valves.
9, 7, 2.
I think it's the
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Killed it. And last but not least, number 3 carries what from the lungs?
Oxygenated. Jack Daniels. What's that?
Jack Daniels. It's alright, kids, you won't know that. So Taurus wins. Congratulations. You get candy. Katie, next time. How are we feeling about the anatomy of the heart and the blood flow? Are we feeling pretty comfortable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, we're going to go home. We can review some stuff, and then we'll continue this on with tomorrow.
Okay.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.